Hey guys, let me first say that it's 3 a.m. in the morning and I am going to be working in about an hour, I think. The reason I'm up early is because I work in IT, as many of you know, and we do software deployments to our web applications while most people are sleeping. That's just how our company does it. So I'm waiting for that to start, and while I'm waiting, I figured since I'm awake, because if I go back to sleep, I'll probably fall asleep and sleep through it, I would go ahead and stay awake and do this demonstration that a few of you requested from my last haul video. This is a demonstration of this punch that I picked up from Michael's at 50% off. This is Martha Stewart Doily punch, and as you can see on the box, it's like this pie-shaped piece, and I've never seen this punch before, so I thought I'd go ahead and show that to you since some of you requested to see how easy it is. And it might be a little hard for me to press the punch down because of the camera, but I may move the camera out of the way a little bit or reposition it. So if I don't speak clearly or if I fumble around, it's because it's really early in the morning. Well, for me at least. So I'm going to show you this punch and what it comes with. I actually purchased this starter kit, and it comes with this doily punch, which is what you see on the box, and then this base here. And if you guys have the other punch, which has like a really long base to it, it's very similar in that it has this little notch here that you pull back, and that is so that the metal base plate can, let me close my knife, the metal base plate can click in there. Now, it's got a plastic cover on the bottom, so you just pull that plastic cover off, and I hope I can do this okay. I know I'm going to have problems because I'm on camera doing this. Why can I not? Okay, the cover is on there really tight. Okay, so you pull the cover off and you get this side of the punch, which has this design in it, and this is that base plate, and you're going to pull it out of the plastic, which isn't too bad. Sorry for my reach. And you're going to put this into this plate down here. So you basically will pull that thumb notch, fit the metal piece in place. There we go. And then just let it go, and it will hold that metal piece down. And then I'm assuming this little notch here is what, it's magnetic, so it fits down on top of that, and it's what makes your you're able to move your paper around. Now I don't know if it comes off. No, it just clicks around in circles. So this is going to be interesting, and I haven't tried this yet. So let's see. I removed the clear cover, and I have to locate the center of my paper. Lightly mark it with an X. Okay, this is very similar to the other one. Place your paper on the base, align the grid to the bottom of the knob with the center of your paper. Align the grid. Okay, it doesn't have a picture of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find the center of my paper, and I've just cut down a piece of 12 by 12 paper, and I'm going to find that centerpiece by drawing an X in the middle, and I'm going to do it on the back side of the paper. This is just regular DCWV cardstock, and it's textured on one side, but the other side is pretty much flat. So I'll be right back. And so what I have done, and I've played around with this a little bit because I wanted to make sure I would get this correct, and I'm not still sure if I got it correct, but I have marked this middle of the paper, and where these two meet, that is the center of the piece of paper. Now I noticed that the knob, it was talking about some grid. So on the knob there's actually a tick mark that I have marked with a Sharpie on both sides. That shows that this is supposed to line up on the center, and it sort of does. And it tells you to, once you put the paper in, you'll know it's centered if you go around in a circle, and it looks even. Now I have done that a couple of times now after placing the paper down, and it looks like it's centered. I don't know if it is, but if it's not going to give you the right result. So we're going to try it out. And as you're doing this too, you want to make sure it remains centered. So I'm going to put the punch in place, and I'm going to go around, and we'll see what we come up with. Okay, so now it's punching. You'll see that it's got two holes here, and I don't know if those are guides or not, but what you want to do is make sure that the next pie wedge, that hole, or the pie wedge, because you could see it once I've turned it, you see how there's that gap right there? You want to make sure that's over to the side, because the next punch is going to come right through there. And so you see that. See how there's like a joining right there? So then you turn it to the next slot and punch again. And we're going to continue to go around. Now I'm having some hard time turning this knob so that the paper is right. Now I think I just messed it up, because the last thing you want is for it to be off. So I'm gonna put the paper in the right spot, and I'm gonna make the knob click the other way. I'm making sure that that knob is just in the right position, so that when I turn the paper next, it's right. So I got off like a little click, but the paper is still in the right spot, because I held it down when I did that. Okay, so I'm okay. I'm going to turn it again, and again, I'm still lining up to that little gap right there. So this punch, I would say, is not as easy as it seems, because it's not that the punching is hard, you know, putting it through the paper. It's making sure that it lines up correctly, so that when you go to punch, you are in the right spot. I didn't feel like I went through all the way. So that you have a continuous circle. See how there's a gap now? I want to make sure that that goes down in the right place. It's easy to punch in terms of, you know, going through this paper, which is just cardstock, but it's not easy to line up the center part and make sure that you are going around. There are other punches that are probably easier to make doilies, or even other, how should I say, dies, perhaps, that make doilies that are also just as easy to run through. But this is a 6-inch doily. So if you're looking for that size, it's probably, okay, last one, a good option. See, I can feel when it's not going all the way through. So there we go. I have made it all the way around. I'll just take that out. Just lift the knob up, and you can erase that with your pencil. And here's what the finished doily is looking like. And I have another punch here, which is the Snowflake. And I'm going to go ahead and punch this, do it off camera, and I will show you the result of this one. The reason I'm going to do it off camera is because I don't want to do all the fiddling with making it centered here to do that on camera. Now, I do have to replace the base plate because I'm doing a different pattern. So you just pull that thumb notch back again, and then lift up the metal plate, and you're going to put the other one in here. Now these are all the scraps that comes out the bottom, and you can just throw those out or use it as confetti. But I will be back and I'll show you the snowflake. So I'm back and I'm just getting finished with the snowflake punch. The reason I'm going to show you the end is because I noticed an observation that I have is that this particular this punch is actually seems easier to go through the paper than the doily one, and it may be because the design is not as intricate. You don't have a lot of little holes in it. So I just wanted to make that observation and know that some punches, you know, if they put out more, then they're going to have some differences in the way that it punches through the paper, depending on how much detail is in the design. So I'm finished now, and I'm going to lift up the knob and show you the snowflake that I punched out. So you can see it's got the little arms, it's got the little centerpieces here, and they have used it creatively by making multiple layers or multiple snowflakes or actual doilies, and then putting them together as a flower. They actually made them dimensional by folding it and scoring it along the points here with the doily. And that's actually an image that they have on the box. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you don't just have to use them as flat backgrounds, you can use them dimensionally. So here is what I'm talking about. You can see there's actually there's only two here. Two doilies layered on top of each other with a center. And what they've done is they've creased it in and out along the little petals here, or the spines, and made it dimensional. So that's kind of nice. And even they've put it around a box. In this case, you can cut it and make a nice little detail around a little present or something like that. So overall, I'd say if you are patient with being able to center your piece of paper under that knob, then this punch may be for you. But if you have problems with lining up stuff, you will have difficulty with this punch. And you'll notice, because your result won't be a circle. It will be all lopsided, and your doily will not have the correct punch slots lined up. And even here you can see in mine, even though it was probably mostly lined up, some of these spines here that you can see in the petals are not exactly the same width. And that's because my paper wasn't lined up exactly on. So yeah, it still is a nice result though, because usually when you buy paper doilies, they're very thin. They're not this way. Yes, you can cut this with an electric machine, right? You can use a Cricut or a Silhouette or whatever tool you have out there to cut electronically the cardstock, and probably get a nice doily too. So and different sizes. So, but this is a neat punch. I just thought I'd try it out and give you guys a look at it. And if you have questions, leave a comment below, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye now.